Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Inside Golf. Well, behind me here at Chester Valley, a lot of white stuff out there. They're not playing much golf, but they are counting the days to the start of the season in the spring. Coming up on today's show, Leila Mackey from the Philadelphia section of the PGA of America sits down with a couple female pros in the area. They'll talk about a variety of topics. One, of course, being women's participation in the game. Is it growing? Also, the younger generation and how they got through the pandemic or are working through the pandemic at their respective clubs. Also coming up, our Teed Off panel talks about the ideal choice when you consider the option of playing with one touring pro against another. For example, would you rather play with Phil Mickelson or Tiger Woods? How about Jordan Spieth or Justin Thomas? They're just a couple possibilities. So it's all ahead next from snowy Malvern, Pennsylvania and Chester Valley, right here on Inside Golf. The 24th season of Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf. 50 courses, over 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee Greater Philadelphia, building game changers. The First Tee not only helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit firstteephiladelphia.org. By Gap, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man and Philly Man Magazine, a digital publication and private business network. Read the current issue, free at jerseymanmagazine.com. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia PGA section, the experts in the game and business of golf, and celebrating their centennial year. Take time to thank your local men and women PGA professionals.
Golf is the great equalizer. For many, this journey is an escape from reality, a chance to be part of a team, a career opportunity. PGA Reach impacts lives through golf by lifting people up, giving them hope, and sending them down an alternate path that they never saw coming. With PGA Reach Philadelphia, as in life and in golf, the most important shot you take is the next one.
Welcome back to Inside Golf. Time to hook up with Leila Mackey from the Philadelphia section of the PGA. Leila is sitting down with a couple female pros in the area to talk about a variety of topics. It's all yours, Leila.
Thanks, Harry. We're here at Lulu Country Club in Upper Dublin, and I'm here with my fellow female PGA professionals from our section. We have Jenna Serrano, PGA professional, assistant professional and director of player development at Gulf Mills. Thanks, Jenna, for being here.
Thank you.
And we have Meg Donahue, assistant golf professional at Manufacturers Golf and Country Club. And today we're going to be talking about COVID-19, 2020, and the impact that it has had on golf itself, but also new people joining the game. Tell us a little bit about what you've seen this year as far as women's golf and just people entering the game and what the trends are.
At my facility, we've seen a huge increase of golfers and especially women golfers in general. So it took a little while in the beginning to adjust to that and figure out the best way to cater to the needs of all of these new golfers. We started by creating some programs where at a very intro level we had some clinics that they would go weekly. We had supervised practices and got them out onto the course and did an Operation 36. And then even at that point, a lot of the golfers were still nervous and beginning. And I think that's the hardest part about starting the game of golf is that even to sign up for a beginner clinic, a lot of the women are nervous about that. So one thing that we tried to do at our facility was offer programs like no clubs needed, come to the facility, we'll walk you around, show you where everything is, and just get them feeling comfortable being there, introduce them to the staff, show them where they get their scorecards, their tees, where the bathrooms are, things like that. So that really helped them just feel comfortable driving to the facility and coming there on their own and feeling able to practice. And I think that was the most helpful. And offering small lesson packages for the month leading up to those programs to help them and just be comfortable, work one-on-one and develop a relationship with them before we got into specific group programs that we did offer.
That's great. Yeah, breaking down those barriers has obviously been something that the PGA has talked about before, and we know that we have to do that in order to get new people into the game. Meg, talk a little bit about what you've seen as far as how you've changed your programming and what more the focus is geared towards and how you see that changing going forward.
Yeah, just like Jenna, we have the Operation 36 program as well. And the year before, in 2019, I really kind of just started to dabble in it. And with COVID and the influx of women and kids, it just took off. And same thing, I had to adjust and offer smaller classes and offer a lot more classes because I was only doing 4 to 6 people in a class. My classes tripled, not only just for women, but for girls. I went from having 10 to 15 girls a summer to 34 last year. So just keeping them involved. The same thing, what I love about Operation 36 is that you have the academy classes and you have the supervised practice, but then you get them out on the golf course. And I think if you can get them and carve out time for the facility, that just that 2 hours of getting them, and Operation 36, you start at the hole and you go from 25 yards. And if you shoot 36 for 9 holes, then you graduate to 50. And I found not just for the kids, but for the women, I'm sure you use it for the women as well, huge success.
Now, have you seen more females kind of transition to that competitive level, or is it still the focus being social and spending time with your family?
I definitely see it as a more social component right now. You know, when I was in my 20s and taught at Chester Valley Golf Club, it was totally different. And now, 20 years later, I see it as they want to go out with their friends in the afternoon and play 9 holes, or they want to go out with their husband and their kids. It's much more social than it is. I still have a couple people that, yes, I want to go play team matches and I want to go get better and play women's gap matches, but that's a handful compared to the large number that just want to go have fun.
Right, right. What about for juniors? Do you think that your junior programs are going to continue to grow and more kids are going to use that and play competitively and kind of focus on golf, or do you think that life will get in the way and they'll continue to play other sports? And what do you see the future for junior golf and what we saw this year?
I think that the junior golf will continue to grow, especially with the introduction of a lot of these new moms coming and playing. Just something that I've seen over the past year alone is during our class time for our juniors, the moms that are in the class together will all meet up and practice or play a couple holes, so that instead of dropping their kids off and going somewhere and then coming back and picking them up, they're actually staying and spending more time at the club. They're spending time in the golf shop. They're, spending time in the restaurant. And just the more the family as a whole spends time at the club, I think the more increase in participation overall for the entire family is going to continue to increase and create really a good club environment.
I think actually COVID was a gift to golf. It really was. I mean, like I look at those 34 girls that I got, I wouldn't have gotten half of those before.
Yeah.
And they loved it. I mean, my whole goal last year was, okay, let's make this as fun as possible and sneak some education in there. So they wanted to come back every week. And rarely did I know they were stuck at home or whatever and couldn't do anything, but I never really had any kids not coming.
Yeah.
So that part, I look at as we just got to keep going with it and I think it was so nice and so refreshing to see how many families went out to play golf together.
It is very rewarding seeing quality time, families getting together for quality time, and as challenging as this year was for many people and many businesses and industries, golf was able to see some success with it, and hopefully we can continue to capture, even if we capture a third of that new population that came into the game, it would be a huge success. Meg, Jenna, thank you so much for being here, and we look forward to talking to you more. When we come back, we're going to talk about travel packages. We'll be back in a minute.
just familiar faces. They're your friends and neighbors. It's their small businesses, a beating heart that makes a neighborhood a home. The places with a pick-me-up, or a story that inspires, where you can share a taste of comfort with a personal touch that makes our world shine a little brighter. Support small and make a big difference. Make it local. Make it Main Street. Make it Montco.
Welcome back. I'm here again with Jenna and Meg, PGA professionals in the Philadelphia section, and we're going to talk a little bit about role models when it comes to women's golf. And you know, this time period has been all about female empowerment. And who would you say your role model is as far as impacting the game, and who do you look up to, and who would yours be?
I really look up to Lynn Marriott and Pia Nielsen as far as their strategy that they approach the game of golf. They have a program called Vision 54, and not only are they incredible players, but they're incredible coaches. They teach some of the best golfers in the world, and they're also able to teach some beginners, some intermediate golfers. And the way that they go about it is really great because they focus on positivity and always creating a good mental headspace and handling different situations. So at any stage, if you are able to approach a situation positively, I think that it makes the game more fun and it makes it more enjoyable so that you do want to come back and you do want to play.
For me, I would definitely have to say Denise St. Pierre, who was my golf coach at Penn State.
Go Nittany Lions.
Go Nittany Lions, yep. She just embodied positive thinking, and she always had such a smile on her face every day. She loved coming to work every day, and I just remember, looking at that and saying, wow, if I can find a job where every day I got up and got out of bed and was happy to go to my job, then why wouldn't I want to do that with my life? And I didn't think that I wanted to be a golf professional, but I just kind of gravitated that way. And she's someone that I can pick up the phone and in a second, and she would call me right back, and we could talk for an hour. And just is always looking out for the person to be not just a better golfer, but a better person, and how golf can relate to life. And that's what I try to do as well with all of my students is, it's about the whole picture, not just hitting a little white ball around a golf course.
Yeah, I think any successful person has a good role model that they look towards. And we did start through PGA Reach Philadelphia. We started a new mentor program for our Youth Diversity Scholarship winners this year, which Jenna was a part of that program. So thank you, Jenna. So that's great that we're continuing to hopefully do that in the golfing community and can offer young girls the chance to have ladies like yourself as mentors. So I'm going to change gears a little bit, and let's talk about women travel packages. I feel like we talk about travel packages, golf wine touring travel packages. Do you see any of that among female-only trips, or what have you guys seen as far as travel, and what is it going to look like for the next 2 years, 3 years?
So in the past few years, I've definitely seen an increase in not only female-only packages, but couples packages, couples golf schools, programs like that where you have a little bit of versatility in your program offerings. So instead of just only having 36 holes a day or intensive clinics and then course time afterwards, offering the ability to do other types of things like touring an area or doing a wine trip or going to the beach, something like that makes it a little more accessible for different levels of golfers, which is definitely important because if they do have trips to look forward to, it's just another thing to keep them excited about the game.
That's great. Yeah, I know we've talked on Teed Off before about what makes a great golf trip and what all those components are, and it's always who's going. So that's great that the social aspect is there. Meg, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely see an increase in women wanting to get more involved in that. I run, we call it the aeration trip, so the week that the course is closed down for aeration, I typically take about 30 to 36 women away for an overnight trip. We've typically gone to Seaview, so we play both courses, and it's a ton of fun. I was planning this past fall to do Hershey, but that got canceled, so I'm hoping that in 2021 we can get that done. I also did a couple trips with women where it was just, took 3 women away, kind of did the same thing as you did, Zette. Did some clinics in the morning and then went out and played with them. And you know, I would never talk somebody out of a golf school, but some of those golf schools where you're going into an instructor where you don't know them and it's so high intensity and you are given so much information for 3 days, and I find that they come home and they're just frazzled. So, you know, now that my kids are older, I would love to do that more in the wintertime with my members and get them down to Florida or, you know, Casa de Campo or something like that, and do more of that. So yes.
Woodlock would also be another great place to go.
Woodlock, yes.
They have a fantastic spa, one of the best in the country.
I did actually take my ladies to that golf course, but one of the lessons I learned there was they were more of beginner golfers, and some of them had trouble getting over some of those ravines at Woodlock.
Yeah.
So we ended up playing a scramble, which worked out really well.
Perfect.
So you just have to go with it. But
Yeah.
Woodlock is awesome. It's great.
Yeah, and the key is obviously having fun. It is a leisure and entertainment sport, so social is a key. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
We're excited to see. Hopefully travel will be an option here in 2021. And thank you again, Meg, Jenna. More to come here on Inside Golf.
I knew you'd never cash it.
Welcome back. Inside Golf continues with Teed Off. And our panel today is at the grill at Lulu Country Club in Upper Dublin, Montgomery County. And it's open for play virtually 12 months of the year. So come on out. Beautiful new clubhouse. As you can see, we're always have a great time here at Lulu. Joining us today, the new president of GAP in this year of 2021, Oscar Mestre. Good to see you, Oscar.
Good to see you, Harry.
Joe Logan, longtime publisher and owner and contributor to myphillygolf.com. And Leela Mackey is with the Philadelphia section, PGA of America, which, by the way, is celebrating a birthday, 100 years old. Began back in 1921. I know you weren't anywhere near it at the time, but now you're going to have a birthday, so
It is
happy
exciting.
birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, for the whole year,
I
you're going to
know.
hear that. That's great. Oscar, let's start with you. This is our, how can I say it, pick a flavor segment on Teed Off. And the flavor is a golf partner among notable golfers, okay? I may even include, when I talk to Joe, Oscar Mestre as being one of them. But friends, let's start off with some name golfers from the PGA Tour. Who would you rather play with? Rory McIlroy or Justin Thomas, and why? I'm not going to let you just give me an answer. You're going to have to explain yourself.
I can't play with both of them?
No, it's either or.
Either or?
Yep.
You know, honestly, that would be a very difficult choice for me because I admire them both tremendously. I admire their work ethic, their swings, etc. But I must admit that I am fascinated by Rory McIlroy at his stature, how much power he generates. So I would really enjoy seeing that up close and personal. I mean, he's not the tallest guy in the world, somewhat resembles me in that respect, but he generates so much power, and it seems effortless. It never quite is effortless, but I would love to watch that up close and personal. He just seems to me to be a good person, tremendous talent, and I would choose him over Justin just for now.
Okay, good explanation. I like that. All right, you ready? Joe,
I would
I'm going to give you, no, not the same two. I'm going
No,
to
I
change
was just
it.
going to say, to add to what he said about Rory, he's also, as he's gotten older, become increasingly outspoken and candid, and you know, he said some stuff. He's gone out on a limb in places I don't think Justin Thomas would.
Correct.
He's
comes
getting
with age.
comfortable with himself.
Comes with age, yep.
Yeah.
It is.
He accepts the platform, I guess is what you can say. All right, let's move
He's
on.
wizened as he gets older too.
Ready? Phil Mickelson.
You said in one of your lists, Tiger and Phil.
That's
I would
yours.
Easily play with them. You know, Phil, because he's such.
But which one? You only have one to choose.
Only get one?
You only
Then
get-
I'd have to go with Tiger. Just to watch it up close, although I have seen it plenty up close, but to play with him, I'm sure he would at least say hello and goodbye at the first and the 18th.
Now, if he knew you were the publisher and writer, main contributor of MyPhillyGolf.com, would you have to pepper him with a lot of questions, or would you just say, I'm out here to play golf? What do you think of my swing?
I would pepper him with a lot of questions. Like, what were you thinking when you did, such and such, but...
Save that for the last hole.
You may have to settle for Phil, he'll tell you.
Well, an old journalism technique, when you have hard questions to answer, always make them the last question. Anybody's ever had somebody get up and walk out of an interview, you go, oh, sorry. You learn that lesson early on.
Okay,
So.
all right. So Tiger would be your pick between those two.
Just because he's Tiger Woods,
Okay, yeah, I understand. All right, Lee, let me go international flavor on you. Jon Rahm or Sergio Garcia?
I actually would pick Sergio Garcia, just because Jon Rahm doesn't really.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
There's no attraction there. I don't mean
No. Yeah, I don't know. He just.
some of the personality thing.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Well,
but-
Sergio's not exactly a bowl of
I know,
chocolates
but
or
I
a
would
bowl
have a lot of
cherries.
questions for him. I think it'd always be interesting to play. I mean, he was somebody that when he first started out, everyone kind of thought he was going to be, the next Tiger Woods, or they kind of with Tiger Woods, and
including him.
he never really kind of got there. And he finally won a major a couple years ago, but I just think it'd be interesting to play with him and just talk to him about how he's kind of handled his career emotionally and whatnot.
Okay, good. Let me go to a couple guys who have moved on. Ben Hogan or Sam Snead?
Oof. I mean, I saw Sam Snead play. I never saw Ben Hogan play.
Did he take any of your money? One of those, play with the pro and it cost you $300?
He was famous for just giving you a check when he owed you money because he knew you'd never cash it. You would prefer to have something with his signature on it. But Ben Hogan, I never got to witness. I would be fascinated to play with him. So that would be my easy take on that.
Julie Inkster or Nancy Lopez?
Nancy Lopez. I like Julie Inkster. She's great. But Nancy Lopez was the Tiger Woods of the LPGA in her day. She's a wonderful person, is, and always has been, and was, you talk about it, somebody who broke a lot of barriers. She was young and good and Hispanic at a time when Lee Trevino was out there, but that's about it. And she was a great golfer.
Right. Great personalities, both of them, and to this day, I think great ambassadors for the game of golf. All right, Leila, you're not going to see this one coming. This is a real out-of-there curveball, okay? Joe Logan or Oscar Mestre?
Well, actually, I'm going to have to say Oscar. No offense to Joe, but we've got the whole South Carolina Clemson thing. I don't want him talking about how, X, Y, and Z the whole round. And also Oscar, I have looked Oscar up online, and his playing career is very impressive, so I think it'd be a treat to play
So it's
with
not just because he's a good player, though, right? I mean, Gamecock, Tiger, never the two will mix, especially over the course of 18 holes on the golf. Where'd you go to college?
University of Delaware.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, South Carolina or Clemson or Auburn or something else. But okay, you're
If
safe.
she went to Clemson, there's a good chance she parked the tractor out in the
Well, thanks for participating. Sorry if I put you on the spot. Maybe Joe's more sorry that I put you on the spot. Think about it. Who would you rather play with? Oscar? I'm going to pick Leila. That's because I've known Leila a long time, and she could probably help my game. We'll be back. More of Inside Golf.
With a full range of BMW X vehicles available, no matter what adventure lies around the corner, there's an X for that. Hurry in and lease a 2021 BMW X3 X-Drive 30i for $439 per month.
For over 2 decades, First Tee has created experiences that build character. We believe every kid deserves to feel supported, safe to try something new, and to be prepared for what comes next. We develop their swing, but more importantly, their inner strength. Because we know what's inside doesn't just count, it changes the game. Come join us at First Tee.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of Inside Golf. As you can see, we still have a few more weeks of winter weather. Speaking of which, on a future edition of Inside Golf, we'll take a look at the Atlantic Winter Golf League. They've been playing this every week during the wintertime, especially down at the Jersey Shore, for decades. And we'll take a look at some of the people involved. One of them, the guy that runs it, is Tom Smith. So Tom will kind of take us back in history with the Jersey Shore Winter Golf League and also meet some of the competitors on a future edition of Inside Golf. Hope you're making it through the winter. We're trying. And remember, no matter how bad it's going for you, don't pick up. I'm Harry Donahue, and we'll see you next time here on Inside Golf. The 24th season of Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf. 50 courses, over 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee Greater Philadelphia, building game changers. The First Tee not only helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit firstteephiladelphia.org. By Gap, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man and Philly Man Magazine, a digital publication and private business network. Read the current issue free at jerseymanmagazine.com. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia PGA section, the experts in the game and business of golf, and celebrating their centennial year. Take time to thank your local men and women PGA professionals.